Early mornings, bad weather, time away from family. The life of a mussel farmer.
My name is Christian, I'm an industrial designer, and for the past 6 months I spent my spare time to develop a concept to help small mussel farmers. But before we look at it, we have to understand the problem first. Here's Jon, and he's a mussel farmer, but he's also a pioneer. He and other pioneers basically taught themselves how to farm mussels, which means their work is incredibly physical, takes a long time, and is very unpredictable. Mussel farmers like Jon spend most of their time on checking on the mussels. But what are they exactly looking for? It comes basically down to 3 things. Since the ocean is full of life, you have things like algae settling on top of the mussels, which, when it gets too much, is called biofouling, and then the mussels suffocate because they can't breathe. The second thing he checks for is growth in general, because he wants to know how big are the mussels and when and how much can he harvest. The last thing he checks on is predators, certain fish and ducks that basically eat entire mussel lines, which is devastating if you're a small farm. Now the interesting part for this project is actually how they check on the mussels. When they arrive at the farm, they have no idea which lines have problems and which don't. Only 3 of every 10 lines they pull out actually has a problem. 7 times they could have just left the mussel line in the water. When I saw this, I was like, okay, this is exactly the problem I want to work on. What if, instead of them going around one by one, they would know before they even arrive at the mussel farm where exactly the problems are? Because then they could just lift the lines that have problems, leave the lines that are totally fine, and save probably 50% of the time, and their work would become predictable. Which brings us to my drone concept, because that's exactly what it does, and it's called Ovion.
Ovion watches the mussels while the farmer is at home. It reaches every corner of the mussel farm because it's designed to be sleek and efficient. Ovion takes sharp images even on days with bad visibility. The 100 megapixel sensor shows issues crystal clear. In the hub, farmers can look back in time. This lets them decide what to work on before they even left the harbor. Now they can spend time where it matters to them, because Ovion watches their farm for them.
That's my concept Ovion. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think. I know it's still a concept and it needs some serious engineering work to be done, but I feel like that's besides the point, because it's just, for me, a way to think about the future. Over the next few weeks, I'll be showing a bit more behind the design process, so keep an eye out for that. But until then, thanks for watching.